Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence. My name is Ben, and in this video today I want to talk to you about why it is that you should talk about yourself. Now, if you are anything like me, you were probably told as you were growing up that it's much better to be a listener than it is to talk about yourself, and that talking about yourself is almost seen as rude. And of course, as kids and teenagers and younger people, we never really stop to question like how that logic would play out in the real world. If everyone thinks that it's better for the other person to talk and that it's better to listen, then what would really happen is that nobody would ever say anything, right? If you kind of bear that out to its stupid, logical, or rather illogical conclusion, like that's what would happen. And what I want to talk about in this video today is why you should talk about yourself, and also a little bit on how you can start to talk about yourself more often. So no, it's definitely not a virtue to not talk about yourself. And I know that it can seem polite to just let other people speak and to just be a good listener, because everyone loves a good listener. But you know what people enjoy more than a good listener? A good conversationalist, because being a good listener is easy and being a good conversationalist is a little bit harder. So let's be honest, when you have had a conversation with someone where the other person has been kind of quiet throughout it and they have been listening quite attentively, it feels great to be listened to. I'm not going to deny that. Of course, it feels great when you're being listened to. But what genuinely feels so much better is when you have a back and forth with that person, when the conversation is going from you to them, from them to you, when there is good banter involved, and when there's almost a bit of argumentation and confrontation, but you know, that level of respect, so you know that it's not going to be a super damaging conversation, but that is the kind of conversation that really engages people, and that's what it means to be a good conversationalist. It's not just supposed to be a one-sided thing where you shut your mouth 80% of the time and let the other person speak. Because if we're being honest, that type of conversation, even though, you know, being polite does make us feel good, does it really fulfill you to just keep yourself to yourself? I would imagine that it does not. At the end of the day, if you want to be confident, then a part of that is expressing yourself authentically. And that is why you need to talk about yourself. But if you need another reason as to why you should talk about yourself more often, consider this. Consider exactly what it is you are telling your unconscious mind when you believe that it's far better for the other person to speak and for you to just listen. The unconscious implication that eventually your unconscious mind is going to run with as it slowly drags down your self-esteem and confidence is that what you have to say isn't as worth hearing as much as the other person is. I'm pretty sure I butchered that sentence structure, so let me try that again. Basically, what you're telling your unconscious mind is that you aren't as important as what the other person has to say. What your thoughts and feelings and experiences are, you should keep them on the DL, because, well, you're just not as important as the other person. You should just be a good listener. And yeah, again, how good does that make you feel? I imagine it doesn't make you feel too good at all. And eventually your unconscious mind is just going to pick that up and run with it. Now, obviously, I don't think that you should just run into a brand new conversation and just try to overwhelm it with your own thoughts and feelings and experiences and things like that. No, you have to find a good balance. And a lot of that is going to depend on how confident of a conversationalist you are, which is something that you will only get better at through practice, and we'll get to that in just a little bit. But I want you to respect yourself enough to know that in any conversation that you can share your thoughts and feelings, that you can share what your experiences are, that you can share what your opinion is, even if it doesn't go well, because some conversations are going to go very poorly and that's going to suck. But you know what will happen after that is that you will have even more experience to draw from, and in order to understand when you should be saying X, Y, or Z, what the kind of social rules are, because there are, of course, social rules that need to be followed and no one has written them down anywhere, so you have to kind of figure it out as you're going along and kind of apply it to different contexts and people. Again, this is all part of the skill of socializing and becoming a good conversationalist. So how does one become a better conversationalist? How do you learn how to talk about yourself more? Well, I wish I could give you a definitive blueprint on how to do it, but it's literally just starting small and building up from there. So if you are in situations right now where in a typical conversation, you are trying to listen like 80% of the time and only talk like 20% of the time, then just start to bump that up a little bit. Talk 25% of the time and then listen 75% of the time. And as you get more comfortable with that, then bump that up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until it's closer to 50-50. Sometimes it's going to fall over that and you're going to be doing most of the talking, maybe like 55-60%, and sometimes you're going to have a more dominant conversational partner and you're going to be speaking a little bit less. But with time, with experience, with confidence, you will learn how to find that balance. There's no magic bullet, there's no secret formula, there is no blueprint. You have got to just go out and learn this from experience. And the good news is there are endless amounts of opportunities for you to practice your conversational skills every single day. In most countries around the world, the coronavirus restrictions are being lifted. You can literally go and talk to someone in the street and practice your conversational skills that way. Like, you could do it at the bus stop, when you are on the train, when you are at work, when you're in the supermarket, when you're at the gym. You can practice conversation and social skills literally anywhere. So that's all I've got to say for this video. I hope you have found it useful. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'm putting out a video every single day at this point. So if this is what you're interested in, make sure that you are subscribed, leave a like on the video. But for now, this video is over and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.